Okay, we're back. Part 2. So let's see what we got here. So there's a little hole in the barrel here that gases shoot up, and that gases force of pressure is what knocks this back. So this is sitting right in here, and this gets knocked back. So there's a little gas tube in there which a lot of people neglect to clean. And I don't want to use my nice clean rag in there because it's usually pretty dirty. So I'm going to use my dirty patch just to see how bad it is. Ooh, it's pretty dirty. See that dirty part where it came out of there? Pretty nasty. So let's use the other end here. I would like to have music playing while I'm doing this, but freaking YouTube is the only platform out there that freaking has a contract with music people to screw over anybody if there's any music anywhere. And now the cops are using it to turn on music when you start videotaping them. That way you can't post it on YouTube. I mean, that shit is just freaking criminal. But you know what? I know, they're all heroes. We should all support them no matter what. Okay, so that was yeah, see, I hardly got anything off there. Even though I cleaned it with a dirty rag, I removed what I wanted to remove. Now we'll give it a good coat of that mystery oil. I didn't clean this part up front here. I could tell it was dirty by looking at it. Yeah, this little thing needed a cleaning. Although it wasn't rusting and it doesn't look bad, it definitely needed a cleaning. So we'll get a nice little cleaning here. It'll be happy. A clean gun is a happy gun. Get a good fresh coat of oil on there. We'll just screw that on. Since I put some oil on there. Get that on the grooves. Oh, damn. Good thing that bottle's spill proof. That shit, I'd have a floor full of freaking Mr. Oil right now. Alright. So I'm going to get another Q-tip here with some Mr. Oil for little corners, because after I do the major stuff, I always go in for the corners. Little places that get neglected. Any place that I have to go directly in where a towel or something can't really grab and clean it good. And that this little thing gets in there. So like these sights, in between here, inside the rails, those are all places that get neglected when they're being cleaned. Alrighty. So I think this is the bayonet lug. I don't know if I even if that bayonet fits on here. Where's that crazy bayonet? We'll try that. Oh, got a lot of dirt off that this little sling holder here. Woo! That was pretty dirty. That really needed some cleaning. Where's that crazy bayonet? Let's see if that sucker fits on here. So there's a clip right there. Man, if it does go on, it doesn't go on easy. Yeah, no, it doesn't clip on at all. So I would say this is not for that. Now I dropped something, I heard it hit. I think it was a Q-tip, so I should be good to go. Okay, so this looks pretty good underneath here. I'm going to get this little area there around the barrel. That, again, these are places that you can't get to when it's together. So anytime you pull it apart, take advantage of that and make sure you get to it. And I know this is probably elementary for most people in the military. This is probably pretty SOP. I don't think, I mean, I may be doing a couple things that some I haven't heard of, but most of your military guys pretty much know what's going on. Now these sights right here, because they go up, another neglected area. Anything that moves and pivots, you want to make sure and keep those areas, because the surface rust that you're wiping off on top, you're not wiping off underneath these little areas that pivot or that move. And if you do have a little surface rust, little 4/0 steel wool, clean that right off. I wish I'd have showed you this before I just did this, because I just removed a bunch of crap off that front sight because it was dirty. And that little steel wool made this look new. So this thing moves. I want to put a drop of oil on there. That's metal to metal contact right there. And we're going to get some oil in there. Alrighty. So this clip's really easy now. You notice I use the hammer. Once there's something in here, this pushes against the wood and it puts a push-pull kind of thing, and it's pretty hard to manipulate. So go ahead and get that Q-tip in there and a gas tube. You don't want to lose a Q-tip head somewhere, so you got to be careful when you stick something in one of these holes. If you start twisting, that you don't go too deep or too far. Otherwise you'll get it stuck. Alright. So that gas tube is nice. I didn't really clean this one off very well, because this is going to go around that wood piece. I didn't put a little bit of oil on this thing. You have to get it right on that little lip for it to close. So now it closed because it's right in the right spot. So I need to get a little bit of oil on the inside there where it opens and closes. to get it lubed up. Alright. So that little piece is good. You get these Q-tips at the dollar store, pretty cheap. I used to buy the expensive Q-tips, but it just really wasn't worth it. So by using the cheap ones, I just throw away and I go through a lot more, but I don't really care. Alright, so this part is pretty much done. So we're going to go ahead and put that back together, because we're going to be working on the back part. Alright, so let's, what goes on first? I'm thinking this does. Already oiled that. That goes right there. This is going to drop down right in here. Come on. Oh, I forgot my bottom piece. Where's my bottom piece? I didn't clean that like I was going to. Remember I said I wanted to get the metal pieces? There's a metal piece right there, and there's a metal piece there that I didn't get cleaned up. Got a little dirt off it. Not a lot. So you can tell that's that little piece that I forgot. Got some good good dirt off it. Alright, so let's get this bottom piece on first, since that's usually a little difficult to get in. Alright, so that clipped in the back. Now we're going to get this the right way. It's got to go right on that little hash mark there where this thing spins. So this will not close until it's right on that little area right there. And that's when a little rubber mallet comes in, because as you're banging to close it, it'll self-seat a little bit. And that jumped right into the right spot. And now that's back on, nice and tight. I mean, that sucker's on there tight. So now we'll put the top one on. Drops right in. This needs to drop down and lock it in. Make sure it's lined up correctly. Where's that little rubber mallet? I like it to seat right in the hole to make sure they have little holes there that it pops in. So that is nice. Back to normal. Very solid. Isn't coming down. All this part is oiled. Now I'm going to work on the back part of the receiver, which is still pretty clean. I mean, there's some kind of dirt in there, but again, this thing has been sitting there, it hasn't been fired. So I'm just going to kind of wipe it down a little bit with this dirty rag. See what kind of junk I'm getting off it. Remove some top surface rust. Sometimes I like to take this off the I'm not going to take this off because I haven't I changed the springs on here because the other springs were bad, so I changed my trigger spring, and this safety holds in a little spring right there, and it is a pain to get in, so I'm not taking this off. So I'm going to roll it up so I can clean underneath it real well and oil it, but I'm not going to pull it completely off. get access to the back side of that safety. Put some oil on there. Remember, you can do it liberally to let it soak in and get good coverage. You can always wipe it off later. All right. So you can see the oiled side and wiped down clean side and the non-wiped down and clean side. I don't know if that's showing a difference or not. I can definitely see the difference. Obviously this is more shiny, but this just has a deeper, I can almost see the metal, and this almost appears to have a flat finish. Whereas this, I can actually see like little grooves in the metal. And I'll do the other thing on the other side. Same way, let's remove some of that top. Rick, you're using a dirty rag. I know. Since I'm not mounting a sight on here, I could take that off, but those are kind of good little accessories that don't usually come with all of them. Sometimes you got to buy them. So because it has a scope mount on it, I don't really want to remove it. Okay, so this is what it looks like before the oil, where it's just a wipe down. This is after a wipe down and oil. This is before the oil, just a wipe down. I want to get a Q-tip on this side because these little small pieces here, my fat fingers won't fit in there. This is why I buy those extra duty gloves, because normal gloves just kind of tear up too quick when I'm running around aggressive. I'm going to make me a little pool of oil in that little tube right there, and I'll just go back to it. Every once in a while you want to pull these things like this off and go underneath so it doesn't rust together. There's that little pin right there. Remember that little pin I had to press? That was kind of hard to press, so I'm going to drop a little drop of oil on there while I press it. Let that oil get in there. I don't want that to season up because then I can't take it down like I want to when I want to. Okay, we are moving along. Now I did not do the barrel yet. Hopefully I won't forget the barrel, because sometimes I do. This is rubber, so I don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to take these old Q-tips and kind of get these rails, because I got a bunch of old grease and crap in there. There's a little grease and rust and cosmoline and other stuff in there. So that's why these old ones I can just get in there and just kind of remove some crap. And I'm actually probably oiling while I'm removing. But there's a lot of crap in those that I'm getting out because these Q-tips aren't really that dirty. Alright. I got most of the junk out that I wanted to get out. I see some white lithium. When I got this, I sprayed it down with white lithium grease to get it in all the corners, and then I cleaned it to get rid of it, and the white lithium removed the cosmoline and other crap. But I could see the white lithium, so I knew I was removing it. It's not brown like the cosmoline that sticks in there. So this looks pretty good. I'm going to drop some oil drops in specific areas like the rail, the trigger spring, anything that moves, trigger catch, safety catch. Work a few things. That's my trigger reset. So what happens when it locks and you hold that trigger back when you're doing your function check, when I let go of the trigger it resets. And then I pull it again and that's when it fires. So that's kind of a dirty one. I'll get a clean one and just give it a once over. Everywhere that this Q-tip can rub, I'm rubbing. And it may come out with dirt. See, I already hit some area that I didn't know I hit. That's why sometimes I like to go back in with a clean one and kind of go, alright, let's see if I missed any area. So we're using a clean side again. Getting corners. Getting the side of the rail. Underneath the rail. Kind of dirty. Alrighty. I think I'm good to go. This little sucker's ready to go back together. Make sure that's locked. Is that locked? It's locked to the rear. Is this in the right way? No, it's not. See, it's not spinning. That's why it wouldn't go in. Alright. There we go. Oh, you know what I forgot? I did. Oh, I'm not even sure. Did I oil that? Did I oil this tube here? Oh yeah, I think I did. Doesn't look like I oiled it much, but I'm pretty sure I did. I'll give it a little quick coat. I think I remember going over it. I just heard Alexa tell me I got a package that just came in. That thing spin again? Shit, it did spin again. Gotta make sure it's in its little locking place when it goes in. Alright, but I did not do my spring. So, and it looks pretty good. This spring doesn't look too bad at all. But I'm going to still get a little Q-tip in there. In these corners. Anytime you got little ridges like that, a Q-tip will really get in there and spread that oil and get rid of anything. Corners. Crevices like that. So another thing people ask me is, do you use a cleaner? I kind of use my oil as my cleaner. So I don't really per se use a different cleaner versus an oil. Especially with this Mr. Oil because it's so thin. And it puts such a little thin coat on everything. I just wipe it off and clean it as I need it. So let's put this back in here. And you notice some people will put these together and they'll forget to put that thing in and won't go back any further. Because I didn't push this button right here, this doesn't seat properly. So I have to push that in for it to go back. And when I pushed it in, it went back. And I must say it went back a lot easier than it did before. So that oil made a difference. Big time. It's amazing how oil does that. I didn't put a Q-tip on there either, did I? I kind of forgot that one. Yeah. See, I got some you can tell I forgot that piece. And then when I was putting it together, I go, I don't remember doing that. And you can tell what it made my Q-tip look like. So, again, all those little things, man. Make a difference on how clean, whether you're going to get surface rust or you're removing the rust that's in there. There's a little button right here on the sight. So I'm going to put a drop of oil there and work that button. Button on the other side, same way. Put a little drop of oil on it and work it. What that button does is it moves this up and down for different windage and elevation. Alrighty. So this is on correctly, the button's pressed. Oh man, that's smooth. This is a lot smoother than my little pistol. Function check, squeeze, hold the trigger, lock it back, release the trigger, listen for reset, squeeze again, and it fires. I must always function check guns once you take them apart and put them back together, because you just never know. So you can tell this thing kind of absorbs some of that oil. It kind of it doesn't look as wet because it kind of went into the metal, which is what Buck says it does. So nice! Woo! Look at that baby now. Yeah, that's a happy AK. All I gotta do is put some oil on this. Or not oil, I'm gonna wax this down. I got some paste wax, or I have some wood wax that I keep in the garage. I'll put that on there to condition this wood, make sure it's not absorbing moisture, even though it's got a coating. It'll still polish up that wood really nice once I put some wax on it and wipe it off and give it a good protective coating. Hell, this probably Mr. Oil for my hands has probably already coated it. That Mr. Oil is probably all over it. That's all I need. Shit, here I am worried about waxing it. Maybe I won't even wax it. My glove's got enough on it to where it looks nice. And that is a happy AK cleaning video. Oh, I just moved the video again. Sorry. Nice. I like it. Alrighty. So we are going to end that there. Thanks for playing, little gun people. We'll end that there. Oh, I had to add this in. Sorry. So when you put on this flash suppressor, you'll notice one side has two little holes and the other side does not. So there's two little holes. Those are your porting, and they must be on top when you're finished. So if you screw this in just to where that little detent pin right there connects, watch, it's going to pop on there. Make sure it's up top. Now, because the detent pin's on the top, it should end up on top, standard. But it's still too loose for me, so I'm going to push this in and get another turn. It's still a little loose, I'm going to push it in and get another turn. There we go. I don't think I can get another turn. I'm going to push it in and try. Can't do it. So now I know it's all the way on. Holes are on top. And I'm going to let this sit up here overnight. And then tomorrow maybe I'll put some wax on it. Alright, we'll end it there.